Okay, continuing day 24, 6/21/2011, State of Florida versus Casey Anthony. Okay, so the judge, I was left off on them, the defense talking about discovery that the state had just given them, XYZ. Judge says items 1 through 60 with April written reports were delivered yesterday afternoon. They were talking to the Linda Dream verdict. He says items 1 through 6 deal with, and she says written reports were delivered yesterday afternoon. She delivered it as soon as she became aware of it or was able to be delivered. Item 7 is a redacted version item that he's previously received over 2 years ago. I'm sorry, this is the judge talking. He asked, do you plan on using April Wyland as a witness? State response, Linda Drain verdict. Based on April's statements, I would say no. However, as that information is being investigated, there may be something from it that would be suitable for a rebuttal case. But at this juncture, as I told Mr. Baez, that would be no. She said they still get phone calls and emails come from concerned citizens. They have to comb through to see if it's actually something. Judge, on items 1 through 6, this is not a discovery violation. Again, on item 7, no discovery violation, because Jose Baez has had the hard drive for almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. Or 2.5 years, whatever it is. And this is just a filtered version of what they may use. Okay. They go to recess, and they come back, and direct continues by defense of Richard Ecklenboom. Has PowerPoint about DNA, touch DNA, only for demonstrating purposes. Of course, under extreme conditions, DNA can break down. Said when maggots feed on human remains, it is possible to extract DNA from them. He said chloroform would not prevent someone from extracting DNA. State cross. He does not have a PhD. Currently a student at the University of Denver seeking a PhD. He is not from here. He's from the Netherlands, I believe. Or Holland. He has a lab in Holland, converted a barn into a lab. Equipment kit he buys for Touch DNA is from an American company. Never extracted DNA from a fruit fly. Our technique for DNA testing is very sensitive comparing to what is done in the U.S. from other type of DNA testing. He has not done any research on elements effects on DNA. Casey at this point looks very bored by all the testimony. Hot and wet environment is the worst thing for DNA. Let me get my other book. Okay. Defense redirect. His lab in Holland is internationally known as the Crime Farm. Started getting recognition by the U.S. in 2006. Tested DNA for another case in the U.S. This case is not the first high-profile case he's worked on. Recess, defense redirect, continued. State recross, defense redirect, state recross. If the tape was on the body when the body was decomposing, it increased the chance of DNA on the tape decomposing as well. Okay. Defense witness Yuri Malich is third time. He is lead detective. Executed several search warrants for this case. Search in August 2008 did not find any papers on chloroform. 12/11/2008 search warrants did look for any items containing chloroform. 12/20/08 nothing to do with chloroform. Never found anything pertaining to chloroform. State cross. August 8, 2008 did not have preliminary or other results from Oak Ridge Lab about carpet samples from the trunk Information of results about chloroform was received at the end of August, beginning of September 2008. 8/22 to 10/14/08, Casey was out of jail. Defense redirect. The time in August and beginning of September 2008, at the time chloroform came up, they were still looking for an alive child. After October 14th, they were looking for a dead Kaylee. Defense witness Dr. Marcus Wise. He's a research scientist at the Body Farm. Educational background information is given. Been at Oak Ridge National Lab for 27 years. This is the first time testified in court except as an expert in analytical chemistry. Tested items for Dr. Voss. Talked about testing chloroform at the Body Farm, which is Oak Ridge National Laboratory. They go to a recess. At recess, before sitting back down, Casey was looking to her right where attorneys are and rolled her eyes. Just side note on that. Still defense direct. He said, him and Dr. Voss are very close colleagues. Dr. Voss is very talented and very intelligent. Did not have another chemist look over results. Since it is a research laboratory, he does not have standard protocols or a checklist that would prevent an error. He has to rely on his own self to catch his own errors. This is not run to a standard letter of protocol. Went through reports about errors that were made during several testings on air samples. Asked when collecting samples, the location should be free of trash, debris, and obvious sources of chemicals that could result in false positive readings. He said depends on the objective of the analysis. In some cases, the sample is part of a trash heap, or in that case, it's necessary to collect it in the presence of whatever is there. Asked if collecting a carpet sample would he recommend it to be free of trash, debris, and obvious sources of chemicals that result in false positive readings. Answered, again, in some cases you have no choice as to where to collect a particular sample because it is where it is, and whatever else is there is part of the environment it's in. Again, type of questions objected and sustained. Judge said we've asked these questions numerous times and in various questions. Move on to another area. And again, talking about if it should be free of things. Again, him and I believe Dr. Voss kept saying you can't help where it's from. State Cross. The relative abundance of chloroform seemed very unusual to him, because chloroform is a suspected cancer-causing agent that is not something you normally find. Whatever amount of chloroform was there, it would have been greater in the past. Chloroform does not increase over time, it decreases. Chloroform was associated with the carpet based on a test they performed. Defense redirect. Talking about the patent pending for a Labrador that him and Dr. Voss have created. State recross. The Labrador was created for law enforcement and military. If they use it or buy the product, there is no royalties. And again, defense redirects. They said, well, and he brought up a good point. Military can use any patent that is out there, and whoever did it will get no royalties. I believe, and it's also in the statute, because he had read off the statute. But I also believe that if they get that product, the only thing they're really paying for is the product itself, like to be made, and what it would be cost to be made, no extra. Like, for instance, if I go to the store and I buy an apple and they charge me 59 cents for that apple, the government, but to pick that apple and to ship that apple was 25 cents or 30 cents, whatever. Then the government would only have to pay that. So that was the point he was getting to. And Baez had asked about, what about law enforcement? And he said he wasn't sure. He assumed that was the way it was. The same thing with military and federal government. He said he didn't know. So that's the end of day 24, part 2. Again, I will keep trying to get these videos out to you. who just want a quick rundown, because honestly, testimony for the defense has been very, very boring. If you just want the good parts, if you just want the meat of the sandwich, so to speak, and don't want anything else, I have no problem giving it to you because I've been watching it. Um, and I'm not doing this just, I'm not doing this just because it's the case I've been interested in for 3 years since hearing about it. I'm also doing this because it's a great learning experience for a paralegal in training, such as myself, who's going to school to become a paralegal. It's a great way of um, learning things. And I've learned a lot just from watching this case. I've learned a lot of terminology. I have learned a lot of when the questioning's going on. Oh, they're going to go this way. Oh, I get why they're asking that. So it's a very good practice for me. I appreciate everybody who's watching the videos. If you want to be ugly, make an ugly comment. Don't even waste your time because I'm not going to post it. One, two, if you have something ugly and not nice to say, don't even watch the video. Honestly, I don't have time to waste with you. Um, this is America. I have the right to do these videos. I'm doing it as a so-called project, for something that I want to do when I graduate college. Um, but and for the people who do watch my videos and do like them, I am continuing to do it, and I'm also continuing to do it for myself. So everybody have a great night, and again, I will. I'm pretty much almost caught up. I just have day 25 that I've already watched. I have let's see. Yeah, day 25, 26, 27, 28 to upload for you. And again, I will try very hard to get those to you.